Everyone. Unfortunately, I will not be in class today, Thursday, March 28th. You should first log into the portal and access this folder Easter date. Electronic copy of the actual programming assignment is here, so you can download this and you can have a copy of the statement on your computer, or you should be able to go straight to your packet and have it with you there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually open up BlueJ and we're going to create a new project. So go up to the top, say project, new project, and we're going to name this project Easter date. And we're going to store this particular file someplace on our machine where we can actually get back to it. So I'm going to just store mine in my teacher files so that I'll remember exactly who actually owns this file. Okay, project name, Easter date, and select a good location that you can get back to on your machine. Okay, again, this will be the full pathway. It will show it to you on the screen. Doing okay, and you should get a new blank Easter date project. So, first thing that I'm going to do now is go to get started. Once I've read the assignment, is to go back to the portal, and there's a J-option pane version that I'll demonstrate at the end of the video, and there's a scanner version. The scanner version is the version that I recommend everyone using. The J-option pane is very similar, and I'll demonstrate that one for you as well. Okay, so proceeding with the scanner version, you can click on this file and download this file, open it in a browser, however it opens, and we're going to do a Command A and copy all of that text that is provided there for you. And now over in BlueJ, in this new blank project, we're going to go to New Class. And we're going to name this class Easter Date. Notice that Easter is a capitalized E. There's no spaces, and then there's a capital D to indicate the beginning of the second word. Okay, we're doing okay, and then you'll get Easter date, and it gives it BlueJ does give you some default code here. We're going to just do a Command A and select everything, and hit backspace, and then Command V, and we'll paste in what we just copied from the portal page into this new class named Easter date. Now notice that I have provided some structure that you can use to kind of speed you up and give you an example. Notice that I've imported java.util.scanner. This statement is necessary so that I can actually import the program that we're going to use to actually read input from the keyboard that the user of this program is actually using, which would, in this case, it will be us testing our own programs. Okay. Notice that it starts with class Easter date. The name of the class has to be the same as the name of the file. Open curly brace. BlueJ provides you with color codes that help you identify matching curly braces that may be off the screen. So if I put my cursor next to a particular curly brace, it gives me a highlighted hint, plus it gives me a block that indicates where that particular code begins and ends. And those blocks are green for the Easter date, yellow for the main method here. Now you can change these colors to customize your look, but these are the default colors. All programs in Java that we will be writing will begin with public static void main. In essence, systemout.println enter a year will be the first statement that executes. The main method is where your program begins. You should memorize this line. We'll talk about in detail what each one of these particular keywords means before the end of the semester. So the first statement that executes is system.out.println, and this actually prints enter a year to the screen. In the next step, we're creating a scanner object named keyboard, and we're pointing it at the keyboard according to Java. Java calls the keyboard system.in. So scanner is the data type or the object type, and keyboard here is the name of the actual object. New says to go to Java, create this new scanner object, and the one parameter says it wants to listen to the keyboard here. So if you look back over at your instructions, you will notice that I have completed choose any year and call it X. In step 0, I create an integer X, and I ask my keyboard object to do what? Wait until you type in an integer. If you type something other than an integer in, your program will abnormally end, and you will have to rerun the program. Now, once you type that integer in, it will be stored in the variable X. You can only declare a variable one time in the program. So this is the declaration of integer X, and I'm actually going to store in it that number that you typed in on the keyboard. And for testing purposes, I'm printing out you entered, and I'm concatenating this string you entered using a plus sign with that actual numerical value that you just typed in. Now, notice that steps 1 and 2 are already complete. Let's examine steps 1 and 2 so that you'll understand how the problems are read and each step should be executed. In step number 1, it says divide x by 19 to get a quotient, which we ignore, and a remainder a. So quotient is always division, remainder is always modulus. In this case, we are not going to do the quotient, but we will actually use this remainder and save it in a variable named a. So that step has been completed. I take the integer that you input in, the actual year, and I divide it by 19, and I take the remainder and store it in an integer named a. For step B, it says, or step number 2, it says divide x by 100 and get a quotient b and a remainder c. So in this step, we're actually getting a quotient. We're using the division to get a quotient. So whenever the statement says get the quotient, you should use division. Whenever it asks you to use modulus, you should use or remainder, you should use the modulus operator. Well, here we're storing the value or the quotient into a variable, an integer named b, and we're storing the remainder into an integer named c. So I've helped you with steps 0, 1, and 2. I'm also going to demonstrate step number 9 for you. And I'm doing this because step number 9 is a little bit more involved than the rest of the than steps 0, 1, and 2. So step number 9, when you get to this step number 9 in the assignment, you will have already created the integers h, m, l, and you will actually perform this particular operation and divide it by 25 to get a quotient, and we'll name it n. We don't need to declare anything or use the modulus in this step. So step number 9, I'm using parentheses to demonstrate order of operations or to enforce the order of operations, and then I'm going to do division by 25, and I will take that quotient and store it in an integer named n. So there you are. When you're able to successfully complete all of the steps 3 through 8 and complete step 10, you will be able to run this program. See the next video that says Easter date solutions and see what the programs look like when they actually run. Take care. I miss you guys.